bags at?
Okay.
Where the bags at? Hurry up. Where the bags at?
They back there. They back there.
Open it now. Hurry. Okay. Shoot. Open.
They in there.
Get down. Get it out. Hurry up. Wait a minute. Put the bags in. Hurry up. Where's the rest at?
This story market. This all trash. That's the trash.
We can something here. We can something here.
Continue. Coming up to Grace Road, still westbound, speeds 95, traffic is light. Coming up to Columbia, struggling. Males and be fleeing.
ما ندوش أمير ضلك عند الدوش شوي ماما ضلك عند الدوش بجيب الشوكولاتة ايش الشوكولاتة شوكولاتة خليجي انت
Go. Go. One house. Back up! Move! Get out of the house now! Show me your hands! Put your hands out! Don't move! Don't move! Stand by your back! Going on his right side! Exit out! Contact EMS! Grab my kit! Go.
It was the middle of the day in Elyria, Ohio. A routine armed robbery investigation was about to become something far more dangerous. Police were chasing a suspect who had allegedly robbed a Brinks truck employee. Then, the suspect's vehicle crashed in North Olmsted. He ran, and within moments, the pursuit moved from the streets to the front door of an apartment where a mother was unloading groceries with her children. What happened next would unfold in only a matter of seconds, but those seconds would later become the focus of an independent investigation, a grand jury, and a question that still hangs over the case. What exactly happened behind that apartment door? It began on January 21st, 2026. Elyria police responded to an armed robbery. The suspect fled the scene, but police soon had something working in their favor. Flock cameras reportedly spotted the vehicle. Officers followed. The chase eventually ended after the suspect crashed in North Olmsted, but the suspect wasn't finished running. He abandoned the vehicle and took off toward a nearby apartment complex. Behind him was Elyria police officer Ali Sabeiha, and somewhere ahead was a family that had no idea they were about to become part of the pursuit. A mother was outside with her children. They were unloading groceries. It looked like an ordinary moment. Then the suspect appeared. According to doorbell camera footage, a gun was visible as he approached the woman and forced his way inside. Two of her children, ages 8 and 7, remained outside. But inside the apartment were the mother, her 5-year-old child, and her 9-month-old baby. And now, according to the investigation, they were trapped inside with an armed suspect. Then something else entered the frame, a police cruiser. Officer Sabeiha had arrived, and there was no time to carefully assess what was happening. Body camera footage would later show the officer getting out of his cruiser and moving toward the apartment. The two children were told to move. Then the officer reached the door, and what happened next unfolded incredibly fast. The door was kicked open. Within seconds, the officer encountered the suspect. Gunfire followed. Several shots were fired, and just like that, the confrontation was over. But inside that apartment was a mother trying to protect her children, and the body camera footage would reveal just how close they had been to the violence. The mother was seen pulling her baby toward her from the floor. Her 5-year-old was beside her. The officer and the suspect were only moments away. There was almost no room for error and almost no time to make a decision.
A man leads police on a chase, then takes a woman and her child hostage. Police say they had no choice but to shoot him. Caitlin McCarthy with the breaking developments tonight.
This started as a brazen armed robbery of a Brinks armored truck driver in Elyria before the suspect led officers on a high-speed chase, ending outside these North Olmsted apartments.
The suspect showed no regard for the safety of motorists or pedestrians in the area, traveling at speeds over 100 miles an hour.
Elyria Police Chief James Welsh describing the dangerous pursuit an armed robbery suspect led officers on. Around 3 Wednesday afternoon, the suspect, a 31-year-old man, allegedly robbed a Brinks armored truck driver outside a store in Elyria. Investigators say the suspect forced the driver into the truck, took an undisclosed amount of cash, and took off in a car. Police tracked down the suspect's vehicle in Lorraine. That's when the chase began. Once the suspect made it into North Olmsted, officers there put down stop sticks at Brook Park and Columbia Roads to stop him. He got out of the car and took off running towards these nearby apartments.
Took a hostage, female hostage. She has 4 young children. Took her hostage at gunpoint, brought her inside of her residence, and at that point, one of the Elyria police officers that gave chase shot and killed the suspect. There was a weapon found. The suspect's weapon was found inside.
Welsh says the brave actions of that officer likely saved other lives.
He's a hero. He prevented. This was a serious situation from the start. It was a violent crime, a kidnapping, a robbery. The officers pursued the suspect and prevented him from harming anyone else.
He adds no officers were injured in this incident.
Most traumatic situations that not only police but civilians can face. To encounter a suspect that's armed and willing to do anything to get away with a crime, in this case a theft of cash.
BCI will be investigating this officer-involved shooting. The suspect's name has not yet been released.
The suspect was identified as John P. Johnson. He was taken to the hospital. He did not survive. But the shooting immediately raised questions about what the officer saw, what he believed was about to happen, and whether there was any other option in those critical seconds. During his interview with investigators, Officer Sabeiha said he did not believe there was an opportunity to issue warnings or commands before firing. He described making a rapid decision to engage. According to his account, he believed Johnson was about to shoot him or use the mother as a human shield. But there was another perspective. The mother later told investigators that Johnson didn't appear to have a clear plan once he entered the apartment. That detail became part of the larger picture investigators had to examine. What was Johnson intending to do? What did the officer believe he was about to do? And most importantly, what was happening in those few seconds that the body camera captured?
And new this afternoon, we now know the identity of a suspect killed after a police pursuit ended with a shooting. The Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner has identified them as 37-year-old John Johnson from Lorraine. It all began yesterday with an aggravated robbery in Elyria and ended with a hostage situation in North Olmsted. Our Candace Harris is digging into this case and has more.
So what began as an armed robbery wound up escalating to a pursuit through multiple cities, and it ended with a woman being held hostage right here in North Olmsted. Now, if you take a look at your screen right now, what you're going to see is footage of the scene as it unfolded last night. Police say this actually began around 3 o'clock in the afternoon at an AT&T store on West River Road in Elyria, and that's where a suspect robbed the driver of a Brinks truck at gunpoint and then left. Officers later located the suspect in Lorraine, but police say that suspect took off, leading them on a high-speed pursuit across multiple communities. The spike strips disabled the vehicle on Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, but police tell us the suspect then ran into an apartment complex.
The suspect got out on foot, fled to a apartment complex on Clareshire Drive in North Olmsted, and he essentially forced his way, took a hostage, female hostage. She has 4 young children, took her hostage at gunpoint, brought her inside of her residence, and at that point, one of the Elyria police officers that gave chase shot and killed the suspect.
They do tell us that no bystanders or officers were injured. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation is still working through this and investigating.
The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation conducted an independent investigation. The case was eventually presented to a Cuyahoga Court grand jury, and then came the decision. The grand jury declined to indict Officer Sabeiha. No criminal charges were filed against him. With the case concluded, the body camera footage and investigative materials were released.
And now to an update. An Elyria police officer will not face criminal charges in the January shooting death of a Lorraine man. Police say John Johnson robbed a Brinks truck driver at gunpoint, then led officers on a chase into North Olmsted, then took a woman and her children hostage. You're seeing some of that Ring doorbell video here. An officer shot Johnson after he presented a firearm. The Cuyahoga County grand jury returned a no bill on Tuesday, and a use of force review called the shooting objectively reasonable.
The footage offered the public a closer look at the moments leading up to the shooting and the chaos inside the apartment. Johnson had previously served prison time for aggravated robbery and had been released the year before. Now, the investigation was over, but the questions surrounding those few seconds remain. One suspect was dead. A family has survived a terrifying encounter inside their own home, and an officer's split-second decision had been placed under intense scrutiny. The grand jury ultimately decided there was not enough to bring criminal charges against him. The Elyria police chief called Officer Sabeiha a hero, but the released footage leaves viewers with an unsettling reality. Sometimes an entire case can come down to a few seconds, a door opening, a gun appearing, a mother holding her children, and one decision made before anyone has time to understand exactly what's happening. The investigation may be closed. The grand jury may have made its decision, but watching those final seconds unfold raises a question that is difficult to ignore. If you had only seconds to decide what was about to happen, what would you have done? Alright, y'all, there y'all have it, man. That's a crazy story of a man in Ohio robbing a Brinks truck, going on a high-speed chase, taking a family hostage, and then ultimately getting smoked. Hey man, get in that comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Drillers and trappers, we outside trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!